Alright, so in this video, we about to be talking about the 6'9" with a 7'4" wingspan, 250-pound center out of Washington for the Detroit Pistons. So in the draft, we ended up picking up Isiah Stewart, and let's talk about him. Now, a team who's coming off of Andre Drummond and Christian Wood. We are looking for new centers, and in the offseason, we got Mason Plumlee. Whatever you want to say about Mason Plumlee, I personally like the signing. We ended up getting Jahlil Okafor, decent player. And now we have Isiah Stewart, and let's talk about Isiah Stewart's game. On my player comparison, I know in my previous video, y'all didn't really like my player comparison from Darren Collinson to Saben Lee. Y'all didn't really like that. So for this one, I hope that y'all appreciate this one as more accurate. I feel like this is a modern day Elton brand type of player. Elton brand, Ben Wallace type of player. Now, much better offensively than Ben Wallace, but defensively, I see some Ben Wallace in him. And obviously, his size and his height, I see Ben Wallace. And offensively, I see some Elton brand. On the block, the mid-range, the post, I see a lot of Elton brand in him as well. Now, I really enjoy watching Isiah Stewart's game. There's just so much to like about Isiah Stewart. Let's talk about his body first. First off, yes, he's only 6'9", but it's one of those Ben Wallace type things. Us as Pistons fans, we know about Ben Wallace. It's one of those things where, yeah, he's only 6'9", but he plays so much bigger than 6'9". And also, the 7'4" wingspan just makes up for his lack of height. That wingspan and his body being 250 pounds, I just like the size of him. Even though he's not the height of a center, I still like his frame, his body. And also for his size, being 250 pounds, you would expect him to be somebody like Tony Bradley, who can't really move up and down the floor. No, this guy can move, and at his size, he can run up and down the floor. So us as Pistons fans, we got to be ready to see that. He will be up and down, getting back on defense, and transition on offense. I'm just ready to see that. Another thing that I loved about him is that he can shoot that thing. He has a mid-range jumper. He has the ability to hit the three-pointer, and when it comes to inside the paint, that's where his bread and butter is. The post, he has a nice hook shot. I really like him. He's much better when it comes to shooting from the three levels of scoring: three-pointers, mid-range, and inside the paint. He's much better than previously Andre Drummond and Christian Wood. He's much better than both of those guys. So when I was watching his film, I loved, and I mean I loved, the grit and griminess about him. The fighting inside the paint for rebounds, loose balls. If the ball bounces off the rim here, he's going to fight you for it. He's not going to just let you get the rebound. I like that grimy side of him. I like the defensively, he's a pretty solid player. I like that about him, the grimy side of basketball. Another positive thing about him, his athleticism. When it comes to alley-oops, we're going to see a lot of that between him and Killian Hayes, him and Derrick Rose. If he gets clocked with those guys, it's going to be a magic show to watch. He's an inside player.
He shot 57% inside this season. I just love, watching the tapes. I know it's college players, but I love watching the tapes of him just manhandling these little boys in college. It's funny at the same time. Like, I just love watching him operate inside the paint.
And I actually had Isiah Stewart ranked as the third center. I had him behind Onyeka Okongwu, USC, pretty good. And I also had him behind, obviously, James Wiseman, who was the second overall pick to the Golden State Warriors. Behind those two guys, I had Isiah Stewart right there. This dude, he has it all offensively and defensively. Now let's talk about his weaknesses.
Something that can be considered a negative for him is that he shot a lot of threes in college at Washington, and that may be a good or a bad thing depending on how you view it. But the bad thing about it is that he shot way too many and he missed way more than he made. He only shot 25% from three. Now, yes, he does make some here and there, but it's kind of like one of those DeMarcus Cousins, Draymond Green things where it's like, yes, they can hit three-pointers, but it gets to a point where they get so confident in themselves that they just start jacking up threes, and when they're not really three-point shooters like that. And at times, Isiah Stewart shot way too many threes.
Now, one of the things that you may or may not want to criticize about him, in college at Washington, they had him in a 2-3 zone. And when you play 2-3 zones as a center, you don't really get to go up against wings like that and guards like that. So in the NBA, I'm going to be curious, like, in the pick and roll situation, how good is he going to be guarding guards? Now, I believe with his length and his mobility, I believe he'll be able to keep up with the guards, but I'm very curious because he may not be able to. I'm very curious how he will fare up against wings and guards and player types like that. When we go up against a team like Atlanta who has Cam Reddish and Danilo Gallinari, is he going to be able to guard those guys on the perimeter? Or if it's a pick and roll situation, will he be able to guard guys like Trae Young? I'm very curious. Also, something that I think he needs to work on a little bit. His footwork is nice, but I feel like it could be a lot better. I feel like it's solid, but I feel like it could be just much better. And I know, give him time, he'll be able to develop that. So those were the positives, the negatives. I really enjoyed my time studying Isiah Stewart, the film on Isiah Stewart, just the Pistons. I just hope that this kid gets him, because I don't want him in the G League. He is not G League talent. He's NBA talent. I don't want him sitting in the G League. So what I want to see, I don't know how this is going to work, because we got Plumlee and we got Jaleel. Where is he going to fit into there? I don't know, but I want to see him on the NBA level. I think he's too good right now to be playing in the G League. That's just my thoughts on it. So like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Thank y'all for 600 subscribers. I'm out.